All right, so me and Dad are out of breath, but we pushed this thing out of the way, had to move some jet skis. It's out. Look at it. It's on the ground. It's out here because we are actually moving, and I got to get this to the new house. No, I'm not driving it all the way there, even though it probably could. We're going to put this thing on the trailer and take it to the new house. So I'll touch base when we get back there.
Later that same evening.
So stressful.
I'm going to back it in. I feel like it's not a win if I don't.
Should have revved up a few times. Wow, 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 wow. Everybody know, oh, what the hell is that?
Oh.
But he can do the same thing. He can park down here.
Well, this is the Del Sol's new home. Here pretty soon. I haven't introduced my 240 on the channel. It's been in hiding, but I have a 240 that will go right here next to it. So nothing in here set up. We just moved in, and man, you can just see how absolutely filthy this car is. It's been sitting since November. Here pretty soon we're gonna start wrenching, and this is where it's gonna happen. Pretty excited. Listen, I just keep staring at the thing every time I walk by it. It's just cool having it in such an open space. That open space is going to get real small once everything starts getting in here. Toolboxes, the other car, yada yada. So I just got to figure out how I'm going to outfit this whole thing. Definitely needs lights. It's the only thing that's in here. So I'm eventually going to put LED lights up and everything. Should be nice and bright in here. But I mean, the one light gives it that real cinematic look, real hot boy, except the car's not. Actually, I lied. There's this little thing, but there's that. I bought this thing. It's pretty bright for one little light, and it was cheap. It's like 16 bucks or whatever on Amazon, but there's only one, and there's no light switch. You have to screw this in and take it out every time, and I have to get a ladder to get up there because I'm short. Shut up. Yeah. Eventually, light switch, lights. Cool stuff. Yeah. So this is going to be the first official day working in the new garage on the all-wheel drive Del Sol. That thing is so dirty, so I'm just going to jump right in to, we're going to wash this thing. Obviously, this thing's been sitting a while. I mean, it looks better on camera than it does in real life. It is so dirty. It's so hard to tell on camera. I mean, I'm sure you can tell. I'm not gonna bore y'all with a car wash, so I'm just gonna time lapse it. That. Now she's got that marketplace paint job. This thing could be primer, you would never know. Looks so much better. I'm actually using that new cinematic mode or whatever on the new iPhone. It's pretty cool. Oh, we can do a dramatic shot where it's like, oh, look at the rusty pole. Wow.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm gonna dry this thing off real quick. And maybe we'll do some wrenching on it. I just had to take one more. I dried this thing off. Ugh. She's super photogenic. Like in person, she's meh. But she's probably like a 5 in real life, and she looks like a 9 on camera. Oof. Well, at least now we can work on a clean car. All right, so now I need to put this thing back in the garage, jack it up, put it on jack stands, and we need to finish this all-wheel drive kit. I'm not gonna bore y'all with jacking this thing up. I'm just gonna use the old YouTube magic. And now the wheels. Much better. All right, so one of the things we're doing today is replacing the brake lines. The rear brake lines are braided, but they go to the stock calipers, and which we don't have anymore. We have Willwoods. And also they were stretched pretty tight. For the routing that you need for all-wheel drive, they need to be a little bit longer. And as far as the fronts, when we went to Colorado, somehow or another, my front brake line got wrapped around my CV axle. Could have been super catastrophic, and luckily they didn't break, so that way I was still able to stop instead of flying into the sand traps at over 100 miles an hour. So Chance got me hooked up with Josh over at Finishing Lines, and that's the brake lines we're going to use today. So we have the fronts, which have these ballet biller mounting tabs, which I don't know that I'll be able to use because I don't know if my coilovers have a spot to mount them, but still awesome nonetheless. And then we have the extended all-wheel drive version to the Willwoods that we're gonna need for the rear. One of the cool things about Finishing Lines is that basically you can customize them how you want. I mean, he'll make any line that you want as far as length and everything, but he's got a lot of kits already on the website for different makes and models, and you can basically customize them with what color you want, what fittings you want, the collar, everything. So I went with black with little purple accents because I do have a few purple accents on the car. As you know, I already have their handbrake kit in lines and everything. They're just the front brake lines that I didn't need at the time, but now it's about time to replace them. So Finishing Lines to the rescue. Let's get these bad boys on. All right, so basically we're gonna be changing these lines right here. They're going this way because right off camera, I have them zip tied underneath the car because I had to transport the car. So this is the new caliper. It is loose. Cool. I gotta remember to tighten that. Don't let me forget. So, to prevent any messes, we'll see how much of this fluid we can catch. Let's go ahead and open these. So it comes with stuff that you need, fittings, new clips, retaining clips. So it's literally plug and play. So normally there's mounting tabs that he includes for like stock location stuff, but because these are FCS arms, the FCS arms do not have a way to mount tabs to hold these. So basically we're just gonna be running zip ties. We just need to make sure that we route this around the axle. What we're gonna do first is peel the sticker off. That's on the back side of this, covering the hole. Even tells you what size thread pitch. So basically I'm only gonna be able to mock this up because you need thread sealant for this fitting, and I haven't moved my toolbox to the new house, so basically we're just gonna mock this up. Well, for whatever reason my phone stopped recording, but we got this one installed. We're still gonna have to find a routing that works, leave a little bit extra up here at the top so that way it's got room for motion. But it is very hot in this garage. I've turned the fans off so it doesn't drown out the sound, and so I'm gonna turn the fans on and get to work. All right, so I got this brake line on as well. Like I said, it's just mocked up. Like all this is tight, but basically the fitting is not tight in the caliper because I don't have pipe thread. Once I get the pipe thread, I'll do that, and then I'll move on to the front brake lines. I just don't feel like it right now. It is so hot. So now I'm gonna put on probably one of the most baller parts out of this whole rebuild, and that is the diff mount. So this is the FCS rear diff mount. I don't know what version this is. I think he said he made some changes, but look at this bad boy. Ooh. You see all the cuts in there? Anyways, so I'm gonna put this thing on. The part I'm dreading about this whole thing is I'm now going to a wagon diff and they sit in a different position, which means I'll probably have to cut my floor. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, let's get this thing on. All right, so we gotta pull out the lower control arm bolts. These are two different bolts. Interesting. All right, so let's try not to scratch this bad boy up. It's kind of locked up there. I think that sits lower than the HCP one. So now there's a big gap right here. I don't know, honestly, hopefully that means that the diff sits lower now. Don't know. I guess we'll find out. Well, it's on there. I ain't going nowhere. So I was going to put the front brake lines on, but so those are the fittings that are on it, and these are actually -3, and the factory style is not AN. So basically I need to order adapters that I can still put the retaining clip in right there, but run this line to the adapter, put the adapter in there, and then I can connect the finishing line front brake line. So until then, I'm gonna hold off on putting these on. All right, so basically I'm just trying to find things to do that help me procrastinate doing what I actually need to be doing, and that's changing the cam gear on this thing. So I've just been trying to like pick away at other things. So one of the things I am gonna check off the to-do list is gonna be the lower arms. So as you know, if you have a Honda, the factory ones you have to pull off every time you want to pull your front axles out. These are the FCS lower arms. With these, you don't have to pull these off because the axle fits right through here. Actually, I have an axle. All right, so let's try to keep this PG, but for demonstration purposes, class today, I'm gonna show you how to use a FCS lower fork. Different angle.
Wow! Okay!
And that's how it's done. So I'm gonna get these swapped out. I think it's gonna be a cool, not that I pull my axles a bunch, but I think it's gonna be a cool addition for future purposes. All right, well, we got that installed. It's not really a good way to get a shot of this. I guess that's okay. So get it installed, you can see all the room you have in there now. All right, so I'm gonna bust out the other side. I'm not gonna film it, you don't need to see both sides. I'm gonna slap the other side together and I'll get back at you. All right, so got the other side on. I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go through and bolt check everything in the rear because I think I just slapped it on so that way I can move the car. But yeah, bolt check it, put the wheels on it, put it on the trailer. yep.